What's up YouTube, Team Deception here. Whether or not I get a good amount of reviews, I figured I might as well open this anyways. I'm not sure how many of you are Vanguard fans, but I figure why not. I'm sure that a lot of you who actually play the game might already have it, but I figured it's something fun to open up, and I mean, it's whatever. So if you guys can't really tell, this is a Gold Paladin trial deck. I'll just open it. So there you go. Walmart has them. You can see the price tag for my Walmart. It's about right. My local sells them, I think, for a little more than that, but I mean, what can you expect? Anyways, you got your little thing here. You got your playbook, you got your strategy guide, and you got a little playmat. I'm not going to really show the playmat or whatever. It's just a whole bunch of random shit. So let's get our new Gold Paladins out. So each trial deck, if I'm not mistaken, is in fact 50 cards, so you can, I believe so. I never really counted them, but I'm pretty sure they are. So the cover card for this is Garmor. For those of you who don't understand the game or whatever, you have to pay costs to activate effects and stuff, and counterblasting and stuff. I guess I should really only do this appealing to the Vanguard players. If you're not a Vanguard player, you probably shouldn't be watching this because you probably won't understand jack shit about this. But Garmor is kind of like a tour guide in a way. You pay a cost to do it, but you can bring something out from your deck, and it brings out a grade 2 or lower, which is really good. We'll get to why that's actually good, but you know. Plastic fell on the floor. You got, I think, 2 of these in the deck. Pretty much a free draw card, which I actually needed another of these. I have one in my deck right now, but I did need another of this, and this is exclusive to this trial deck. You Soul Blast 2 to draw a card, so it's actually really good. Yeah, you did get a second of this. The other one's a rare. These are your 3 rare, or these are your 2 rares, and then you got that. This trial deck actually comes with 4 of these. The Gold Paladin one came with only, I think it was Boars was the name. It only came with 1, and it was a rare. So I mean, getting 4, that's actually really good. These are pretty standard in every trial deck. You always have that generic grade 2 that's 10,000 power. So I mean, it's kind of standard. So we got 1 Slagle Sword. This is one of the reasons why Garmor is actually good. I'll put this back out here. If you remember, 5 seconds ago, I said that it brings out a grade 2 or less. It brings out these. These are your superior interceptors. You can use it to intercept for 10k instead of putting it in your hand as a 5k shield, which is pretty good. I mean, you can just bring it out and be like, whatever. You got 2 of this guy. I don't know why they only put 2 in here. The way Gold Paladins are meant to work is you're supposed to use up your hand for the most part. You don't want to use up your entire hand. You want to keep your your huge shields in your hand, but for the rest of it, you want to kind of just use up your hand to put out a whole bunch of cards, and I'll explain part of the reason why when we get to it, because I believe that there are. I think that card is in this trial deck. If not, I can explain it otherwise. But yeah, he becomes 11,000 when he attacks if you have less cards in your hand, so I mean, it's pretty good. Another pretty standard card next to the 10k grade 2, you always have to have the generic 8k grade 1. This is a random card in the deck. I honestly don't know why they put this in here. There's probably better cards they could have put in here. It basically can boost itself as many times as you can counterblast, and I mean, it's kind of whatever, but I mean, it is a good grade 1 for the deck, I guess. You got Sagramores, they're your drop 1, draw 1 when your attack hits, so I mean, it's pretty good. This is another good card off of Garmor. When it boosts your Garmor, it gets another plus 5,000, so it becomes an 11,000 booster behind the Garmor, which is actually really good. Most of the decks, competitively wise, though, that I've seen only use 1 of these, just because they go this, bring it out, and it's right behind it, and then just boost to 21. Plus, if you have the 4 damage, then it has its limit break, which gives it another 5k, which is pretty good. This is actually a decent card for right now. Gold Paladins in the English game don't really have much, so this is actually an excellent card. There's a better option, which I'll show you guys whenever I get around to it, because my deck's sitting around me somewhere. But this gives you a 2k boost, and it's a 6k off the bat, so you can do an 8k boost on whatever you're boosting with this or whatever. I mean, it's pretty good. You're starting Vanguard in your in this trial deck. This is actually not a recommended card for competitive play. I mean, it's just a generic 6k, but I mean, it's okay. I think the starting one for, I'm not sure, I'll have to look into that. And then the rest is pretty much triggers. You got your standard critical triggers. They allow you to do extra damage for anyone who doesn't understand what the triggers do. The way things work is each card has one critical on it, but you can use your critical triggers when you do your drive check or your damage check to add criticals to them. But if you're doing it during your drive check, then they get to do an extra damage, which is really good. And it's a 5k booster. This is a decent trigger for anyone who doesn't like stand triggers. The draw trigger, this allows you to get a free draw, and it's a 5k shield with a 5k base power, so you can boost for 5k, you can shield for 5k, and when you drive check it or damage check it, you get to draw a free card and put 5k on any of your rear guards or your Vanguard, which is pretty good. Personally, I like stand triggers, so this is an excellent card. Just like all the other triggers, they're generic 5k, you know, whatever, but this one adds plus 5,000 and restands. For those of you who do not know how to play Vanguard, when you attack, you rest or tap, as some people who play Magic might understand. Stand triggers allow it to reposition itself, except for the Vanguard. Like if you drive check a stand trigger, you can't restand the Vanguard because it's kind of broken if you could do that, but you can stand a rear guard and then attack with it again during your turn. Otherwise, like if you do it during damage check, then it's kind of like a wasted stand, but you still get the power, which is useful. And then you got your heal triggers, which for those of you who, you know, are smart enough to realize this will heal your damage each time, as long as you have the same amount or more than your opponent. So I mean, that's the trial deck, though. I mean, for real, it's actually a pretty solid deck. It's better than the Gold Paladin trial deck. It's also better than I think it's also better than the Narukami and the Kagero decks, just because it just has a way of using Garmor in such an easy way. You can bring out your superior intercepts from your deck. You can bring out the 10k boost or the 10k generic. You can use it to bring out Witch. When she's called, you can Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. So I mean, you bring her straight from the deck. Since she's been called, you can use her skill. And hang on, let me explain something for you guys. There's a card that I believe is currently only in set 6, and it's this little Battlertron. What he does is whenever he boosts a Gold Paladin and you have more rear guards than your opponent, it adds another plus 4,000 power to the unit it's boosting, and it's already a 6k, which means it boosts for 10,000 if you have more rear guards than your opponent. So if I call this out, I can bring this straight from my deck and boost to potentially 25k. Or if I actually am going to be using them, but or you can bring this out and boost to 26k. Either way, but this is more generic because the other one has to boost this in order to get its skill. But this works for anything, which is why I like this better. And it's just like there's a whole bunch of other stuff from set 6 that make him even more broken. Like this, for example, it boosts itself by 2,000 whenever a Gold Paladin boosts it. So if, for example, I have him as the Vanguard in this, and I have more rear guards than my opponent, he boosts up by another 10,000 plus his own skill by 2,000, which means I have a 22k Vanguard that's attacking at you, and it's going to be pretty hard for you to block that. And that's part of the reason why I think that the whole Garmor thing is actually really good, just because it can bring out a lot of things from your deck, and that's probably why I think it's more superior than a lot of the other trial decks that have come out. For those of you who do not like Vanguard, I do apologize. Like I said, I couldn't make it to locals, and I have to make videos throughout the week, and this is one of the things I'm going to be doing. If you guys would like me to do a deck profile on my actual Gold Paladin deck, I can do that this week as well. That's part of the reason why I got the second trial deck, is because there's a few cards in here I know I needed, like the Silver Fang Lich, a second Garmor, stuff like that. Like, if you guys really want to see this, like, just leave a comment, like the video, or just message me telling me you want to see it. Like, if I can get a couple people to tell me that they want to see it, then I'll probably put up a video for it. I don't really care, as long as I get some kind of feedback or whatever. I know by the time this is going to be up, I should have at least 2 or 3 likes on the Battle Pack opening video. I'll leave a link to that somewhere up here or someplace. But yeah, so if you guys want to see the deck profile of this whenever I get it fully updated, I will be more than happy to do so. I will be doing my binder video tomorrow, I think, and then I'm going to do the Vanguard videos, the actual card fights, starting Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So stay tuned for all that stuff. Rate, comment, subscribe, and sorry that this was kind of long. I actually didn't expect it to be, but you know, rate, comment, subscribe, all that other good shit. Peace, you guys.